Hey, what is up, my guys? Hey guys, welcome back to Zmari Talks. I am your host, Zmari, and it is such an honor to be here with you. We're at the end of the year. It's December. It's December, y'all. I have been deciding, do I want to do a close-off episode for this year? How do I want to do this? But I don't think it will be fair to you guys if I don't close off the year right. We are in December. It's Christmas season. This could be a difficult time for some persons, when they have family conflicts or losses in the family, those kind of things, the roots. But guys, we're coming down to the end of the year. Things could get a little bit finicky. The finances could get a little bit finicky. Relationships could get a little bit finicky. I have been seeing a lot of finicky in my life, and I'm like, woo, what is happening? But to be honest, I am very, very grateful that it's happening now. Here's why. Because now I can make decisions on how I'm going to approach the next year. Now, I'm not like a New Year resolution type of girl, but since my birthday in November, I have been thinking about, hey, I'm into the next decade. What is this next decade of my life going to look like? As I've been thinking about that, I've been making some strategic decisions as to what I'm going to do, how I'm going to put myself out there even more, face some fears even more, get rid of that fear factor in my life, and even get rid of crutches, get rid of spaces that keep me the same, that reverts me to the old me or to the comfortable me, moving away from distractions, adding more disciplines to my life. So now I have a social media discipline. Or even in friendships, how much time I give to friendships, which friendships add value to me, and which friendships keep me on point and keep me focused and keep me in the right direction, which relationships are adding value to my life that's not overly emotional and making me function in an overly emotional space, but that's keeping my head on, that's keeping me set, that's keeping me focused on the things that I want to work on. I've become more quiet. I've become more intentional about who I share what with. I'm paying more attention to how people respond to things as well, because I'm realizing that I need to make shifts. I need to make some major changes in my life if I want to see my next year to be even better. In order to become more fruitful, in order for a plant to grow, you need pruning. You need pruning. And if you're not looking at your life right now and seeing where you need pruning, then what are you waiting on? Because we need to go. Like, we need to get things done. Let's get this thing done, right? So I have a couple of close friendships, and like, this is the conversation that we're having. This is the conversation about change and growth and development that we're having. Everybody's on their own journey in their growth and their development plan, but I can tell you about mine. 2024 has set a foundation for me to become even more bold and unapologetic in who I am. And coming down to the end of 2024, I think I have a kind of grasp of who I am, my identity, and I'm a little bit more rooted in that space, which makes me be more willing to take risk. It makes me more willing to be okay with conflict and really accept what the environment of change comes with, which is probably friction. It's going to require some type of development, some type of sharpening, and I'm willing to go through the process of that development. This is it. This is your season of transition. This is it. This is your time. This is a strategic point of your life today, now, in this season, in this time of this year, where you can make that decision. We see so much videos, we see so much things with so much cliche stuff about, okay, what you should do, how to level up your life, how to move next, how to do that, those kind of things. But we don't actually have practical plans. And I've been trying over this year to give you all practical game plans on how you can actually move your life forward. And I told you, beginning of the year, I said the beginning of wisdom starts with laying your life down to God. And it means that you're acknowledging that you are not the be all and end all of your life, that you are not even the source of your life, but that God is the source of your life. He is the source and the resource of your life. And when you acknowledge that, you now can start saying, you know what, God, what it is that you have planned and purpose for me. I want to get in alignment with that call that you have put on my life so that I can walk with a confidence of knowing that you're going to back this path that you have called me to. And as you have done that, now we're going to start making steps. But when we're making those steps, there's some things that's going to happen. There's some journeys that we're going to take There's some conflicts that we're going to encounter. There's some walls that we're going to face that we're going to have to learn how to scale. There's some things that we're going to have to do to level up. There's some fears that we're going to have to encounter and derail and step over those things that hinder us, or step over those things that are looking to keep us the same. Step over or step out of environments that even keep us the same. Certain conversations or certain relationships that keep you connected to old versions of you. Yeah, not this season. Like 2025 is your thrive season. 2025 is going to be your amazing blossoming season. But there are changes, there are things that you're going to have to do. And I want to help you to be able to do that on a practical basis. Very, very practical basis. When I was at the age of 20, I had two portfolios under my belt as well. I was working on other things. I was actually a dance coach and leader of a team of young persons at that time, and I was also a youth leader at my church. So I was working with a number of young people and just helping them to find out who they are and figure out who they are, but also using their gifts and talents and using it in a way that they can actually see a future, see a possibility with it. I'm very passionate about the arts. I'm very passionate about creative arts and performing arts. And dance is a huge aspect of my life. I've been dancing since I was 14 years old. So given that opportunity to actually lead those persons at that time was significant for me. I remember we actually worked towards doing a major dance production in our community, and it was so impactful, it was so influential. You know, a lot of people came out, and it was an amazing, amazing event. The thing about that is that at that point in time, I had success in certain areas, I had achievements in certain areas, I had titles and positions and all these different things. But I realized that I was lacking in a way, because the things that I wanted to do, I did not see how I can actually leverage it. How can I create an income? How am I going to get a source of income? Or how am I going to get a certain amount of cash flow to be able to do the things or to fund the things or the visions and dreams and goals and the ideas that I had in my mind? So you know what I said? I said, you know what? I'm going to go into business. I'm going to learn about entrepreneurship. I'm going to get a successful business, run a successful business, and then come back into performing arts or creative arts. Well, that was my plan. That was my plan. At that point in time, I was introduced to a coaching team and a mentorship system. And as I was introduced to this coaching team and mentorship system, they were literally teaching you how to build a successful enterprise. And I say enterprise and not just a business, because enterprises are a number of small businesses or a number of businesses connected to each other. And at that time, I had to learn how to work well with teams of people and help them to accomplish success. Because if they hadn't accomplished success in their business, then I didn't accomplish success in my business. That's what happens when you're building an enterprise. Entrepreneurship is not about building a business. Entrepreneurship is about building teams of people. It's building teams because each team adds to the whole. It's a packaged deal, right? So as I started to work with, or I started to submit to that mentorship system, I was given access to tools and resources. I have literally a library right now from the resources that I would have gotten from that mentorship system. I gave away over 20 to 30 books earlier this year just from that mentorship system, just to help persons to learn things about themselves, unlock things within themselves, and be able to learn leadership skills and leadership tools to help them to grow in different areas of their life. I got access to resources. I got access to coaches and mentors who were way ahead of me in life. They had financial success, significant financial success, access to multimillionaires, access to multi-billionaires, hearing their mindset, hearing how they went about building their businesses. It was such a good environment to be a part of because they were so progressive. They were always forward thinking, and they were such leaders that they were able to just serve others, able to help persons to accomplish success in their own businesses and live a very successful lifestyle, not by just the things that they attained, but just the value system that they had and the persons that they were. They were very admirable in that way. And I really looked at that life and I said, you know what? I don't just want to accomplish physical success, but I want to be a person who is able to lead well. I want to be a person who's able to have success in their own personal journey and their personal life. Their soul prospers. You know, the Bible talks about I wish that you will prosper as your soul prospers. And what I saw in these persons is that their souls were prospering. Their souls were generous and kind and joyous and loving and fruitful, and they had temperance and self-control. They had the fruits of the Spirit within them. And I had access to those persons. I learned disciplines that I had to incorporate in my daily routine. Things that I needed to do when it comes to reading books and listening to positive mental attitude talks, or just listening to podcasts and listening to people train you and teach you things and change your mindset. I started to indulge information and just receive information that's going to help me to change and to shift. I had to put in even certain habits on how am I going to create financial success in my business. I had to create certain disciplines where every single day I had to be out there creating an income, looking for an income. What am I going to do to create income in my business today? What it meant working in my own personal business, or what it meant helping one of my members, the person that I was coaching, to build a successful business, helping them in their business, because their success was my success. So I learned disciplines, daily disciplines. I had habits. I had to change my habits. I had to change my eating habits. I had to change my physical training habits. I started to put a lot of discipline in my life. I didn't spend so much time on social media and doing all these different things. I was more in spaces and in rooms that were just helping me to grow, helping me to move forward, shifting my mindset, being around like-minded persons. And that environment significantly impacted my life. That environment significantly changed my life. That even now, at 5 years, I did that for about 5 to 6 years. And now, probably about 5 years or 5 or 4 years later, I still have those habits in my life. I'm still that type of person who is always looking to grow and looking to take value from things and learn from others and looking to really just build the connections and just gain and receive and just be that fly on the wall where I can receive information and grow and just next level and do stuff that's going to better my life and just better others. A lot of times when I talk to my friends or best persons in my life, it's always something that is progressive. It's always something we always lead up to. Listen, next year or this year, we want to do this, want to do that. And we're always encouraging each other on our visions and our dreams and our goals. And I had to be intentional about curating my environment so that it fed that type of mindset. I had to sift through a lot of friendships. I had to go through a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships. I had to even curate my time with my family and the things that happen in my family and the conversations that I had with my family. I had to be so intentional about that environment that I'm building around myself, because I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do. But that mentorship system is what would have put these certain foundations in my life to help me to create that discipline now, to know what I need now. And there's so much value in mentorship. There's so much value in having a coach and a mentor or someone there to guide you or to walk you through life. A lot of us think, you know what? This is my path, this is my journey. I don't need anybody. But it's so false, because we always need someone. Even in the Bible, there's the concept of discipleship. Jesus had 12 disciples. He taught them the path that he wanted them to follow. He walked it through. He talked with them. He journeyed with them. He lived life with them so that they can see exactly what he was doing front end, fullest end, with all the encounters, with all the interactions, with all the persecutions, with all the things that he would have faced, all the resistance. But they saw the results. They saw the fruitfulness of his life. They saw how people were impacted by his life. I want to tell you a story. This story was when I was 20 years old. And when I was 20 years old, I was making a major transitional change in my life. That transition was made up of me walking away from being a dance leader, walking away from being a youth leader, and going into the world of entrepreneurship. That decision was really made from a place where I was deciding what career path I really wanted to follow. At the time, I was studying law, and I had just figured out that I loved creative arts, I loved performing arts, and I wanted to pursue a career in that field. However, I understood that to be able to do that, I had to create a stream of income for myself. I had to become financially savvy. So I decided to go into the world of entrepreneurship. As I walked into this world of entrepreneurship, I was able to encounter a mentorship system and a mentorship team. This mentorship system taught me a lot of life principles. It taught me disciplines, it taught me habits, it taught me financial planning and financial management. It taught me how to work with teams, lead teams, and coach and mentor persons on how to create financial stability or financial literacy in their own lives, using whatever set of circumstances that they have. I'm so grateful for the resources that I was able to access through this mentorship system that lives with me, that goes in my journey today. A lot of the principles that I would have learned at that time over a 5 to 6 year time frame are the principles that I use in my life today, are the principles that actually keep my life afloat and help me to live a successful life today. I don't know about you, but every time I had a coach and a mentor in my life, anytime I had a team of people working with me and helping me to tap into the best version of myself, I always succeeded. I did it in dance when I was a teenager. I had a coach and a mentor who was able to tell me exactly where I needed to improve and help me see the areas of my life that I was not able to look at with clear eyes. That person was even able to tell me, listen, we need to put you in another environment because you're way too comfortable here. We want to put you in an environment that's more competitive for you. When I leveled up and I went to that environment, my whole mentality and my approach to dance changed. It's because I had a coach. I had someone who was able to see areas and know and understand what I needed to take me to the next level. Guess what? I still have a coach and mentor today. And I pride myself on the relationship that I have with a coach and a mentor who is able to give me insight and perspective to help me to improve and to allow me to take leaps and bounds in the direction of fruitfulness that I want for my life. So, from my mentorship experience to yours, I want to help you unlock and tap in to your fullest potential by looking at your set of circumstances and helping you to navigate the steps of transitions that you need to make so that you can get to the best version of you. Remember, we want to be bold and unapologetic as we grow, as we glow, and as we be brilliant. I want to bring to you personal one-on-one coaching sessions that's going to help you to look at your life in a more strategic way and help you to focus on the areas that we can leverage to take you to the next level. Get in touch, let's get connected, and let's help you tap into the best version of yourself.